Our apartment always felt smaller at dusk, the corners stretching out with shadows. That evening, it was just me and my little brother, Amir. Dad had left for a job interview, promising he'd be back before dark. I sprawled on the couch, flipping through channels while Amir played on his tablet. The TV's glow made the room feel less empty, but every so often I caught myself glancing at the hallway, just in case. After a while, I got restless and stepped outside. The air was cool, the street mostly quiet, except for a distant dog barking. I stayed out just long enough for the sky to turn a deeper blue. As I headed back inside, I left the door unlocked for Dad. He always forgot his keys, and it was almost time for him to come home anyway. I found Amir upstairs, sprawled on the floor with his game. We talked about nothing for a while. School, cartoons, what we'd eat for dinner. It felt normal, safe. Then, from downstairs, I heard the front door creak open. At first, I didn't think much of it. Dad must have come home a little early. There were noises, cabinets opening, something shifting in the kitchen. I could picture Dad checking if we'd left a mess, making his rounds before settling in. A door opened and closed down the hall, slowly, like someone was trying not to make a sound. Probably Dad, I told myself, even as I felt a pinch of doubt. I tried not to let it show, but I kept listening for Dad's voice. Amir didn't notice. He was too busy explaining the rules of his game to me. I nodded along, half distracted. The phone rang, sharp and sudden, cutting through Amir's chatter. I grabbed it, expecting Dad's usual, "I'm outside, open up."
Hey Maya, I'm running late, okay? You and Amir will have to make dinner tonight.
My heart dropped. Dad wasn't home. He hadn't even left the interview yet. Every muscle in my body tensed. I tried to keep my voice steady as I told Dad we'd be fine. My mind raced, replaying every sound from downstairs. I told Amir to stay put, trying to sound casual. He barely looked up from his game. I wished I could be that oblivious. I crept down the stairs, every step echoing too loud in my ears. The living room looked undisturbed, but something was wrong. The front door was wide open. A few things were missing. My backpack, some loose change, a set of headphones I'd left on the counter. I didn't see Amir's toy robot anywhere. Then I heard it, a slow, steady breathing coming from the downstairs bathroom. I froze, my whole body prickling with dread. The bathroom door creaked open a crack. A pale hand curled around the edge, and then a face peered out, sharp features, eyes darting, skin sallow and unfamiliar. He saw me. For a split second, we just stared at each other. He bolted, out the bathroom, past the kitchen, and through the open door. I chased after him, but by the time I reached the stoop, he was already gone. I stood in the doorway, shaking. The bathroom was empty, but something glinted on the floor. A box cutter knife, left behind. I called the police, hands shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone. They came, asked questions, searched the place. The man was gone. They never found him. After that night, Dad started calling before he left work. Every single time. He checks all the locks before bed. Amir never found his toy robot again. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't picked up the phone, or if I'd gone downstairs just a few minutes earlier. I still check the bathroom door every night just to be sure.
The city never really sleeps, not where I live. Lights always buzzing, sirens in the distance, the river humming somewhere behind the buildings. Lately, I've been running most nights, trying to get back in shape. I tell myself the city's safe, at least in my neighborhood. I want to believe it. Last night, I laced up my shoes, grabbed my headphones, and left my apartment just after sunset. The air was cold, but not sharp, just enough to sting my lungs a little when I started moving. My usual route cuts over to the Riverside Park, a long, narrow stretch of green wedged between the highway and the water. Even at night, it's busy. Soccer games, tennis matches, people walking dogs, other runners nodding as they pass. I've been coming here 2-3 times a week for a month now. I was feeling good, better than usual, so I decided to push a little further, past the usual loop, into that stretch where the park thins out. There's this half-mile gap where the river's blocked by a chain-link fence, and the city parks trucks and mowers. Most people turn around before they hit it. It's ugly, honestly. It's always emptier there. The trees thin out, and the only light comes from a couple of old sodium lamps. I've biked through that part on my way to work. Never felt unsafe. Not until last night. I was maybe a quarter mile into the dead stretch when I noticed someone ahead. A tall figure, walking toward me, hands in his pockets. Not weird. Not at first. I'd already passed dozens of people that night, but here, it was just him and me. I kept running, headphones in, podcast droning on. When I looked up again, he was still right in my path. If I kept going straight, we'd run into each other. So I shifted to the far side of the trail, giving him space. Didn't think much of it. But then he moved too. Matched me step for step, sliding over to block my side. I hesitated, stopped jogging for a second. Maybe we'd just done that awkward sidewalk dance, both trying to get out of each other's way. I shifted back, testing him. He mirrored me again, deliberate now, like he was waiting for me to get close. My pulse picked up. I slowed to a walk, trying to read his face, but the streetlight was behind him, casting his features in shadow. He was tall, at least 6'3", maybe taller, dressed in jeans and a black hoodie, hood up. I couldn't see his face. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, just a weird moment, but my gut was starting to twist. I stopped a good 20 feet away, yanked out my headphones and started to say something, maybe just to break the tension. I barely got out "what the f" before he raised both arms above his head. He started screaming at me, loud, raw, not words I could understand. His arms were up and I saw something long and pale in his hands. I couldn't tell what it was. My mind raced. I started backing away, slow at first. And then he ran at me, arms out like he was trying to grab me. I turned and bolted, faster than I've ever run, my legs burning, lungs on fire. I heard his footsteps pounding behind me, getting closer. He was fast, way faster than I expected. I could hear him closing the gap, his shoes scraping the pavement right behind me. I pushed harder, legs screaming, barely thinking, just running. We hit a slight incline. I felt like I was going to collapse, but somehow I started to pull ahead. I glanced back. He was still coming, arms stretched out, face hidden under that hood. The path split around a fenced-in lot, full of city equipment, bulldozers, mowers, piles of gravel. I faked left, then darted right at the last second, hoping to lose him around the curve. I ducked into some bushes, thorns tearing at my arms, and crawled under the fence. Just enough space for me to squeeze through. My heart hammered in my ears. I kept low, barely breathing. He prowled back and forth on the other side of the fence, scanning the bushes, ducking into the darkest corners. I pressed myself flat, trying to disappear. He couldn't see me, not yet. I fumbled for my phone, hands shaking, and dialed 911. My voice barely worked. I tried to whisper my location, watching him through the fence as he moved in and out of the shadows. When I finally crawled out the other side, I started warning other runners, just blurting out to anyone I saw, "Don't go that way. There's someone." Most people gave me weird looks, but a few turned back. He kept pace with me on the other side of the fence, ducking in and out of sight. Every time I thought he was gone, I'd catch a glimpse of that hood, those long arms. Always watching. After a while, I lost sight of him. Maybe he got bored. Maybe he found someone else. I kept circling the area, waiting for the cops, heart pounding every time a shadow moved. The dispatcher told me they were close. I tried to stand still, but my legs wouldn't stop shaking. I watched the path, waiting for blue lights, but the only thing moving was the wind in the trees. After 15 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. I slipped out of the park, cutting through side streets, checking over my shoulder every few steps. Every runner I passed made my heart stutter. The run home felt endless. My mind kept replaying the chase, the screaming, the way he'd mirrored every move. I tried to convince myself it was over, but I couldn't shake the feeling I was still being watched. By the time I got back to my building, the adrenaline was gone. I felt hollow, like I'd left something behind out there. I locked the door, checked the windows, and just sat in the dark for a while. I spent the night scrolling through the Citizen app, Twitter, anywhere I might find out what happened. I kept expecting to see a report, something about a guy in a black hoodie, but there was nothing. 5 hours after I called the cops, there was a post about a body being pulled from the river a mile or two down. No details, no description. Just a line about police tape and flashing lights. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it had anything to do with me, or if it was just the city doing what it does, swallowing people up and spitting out pieces. But I can't stop thinking about it. I keep replaying the way he moved, the way he tracked me step for step. Like he knew I'd be there. Like he was waiting. I don't run that stretch anymore. I don't even bike it. Sometimes I still hear footsteps behind me, even when I'm alone. Sometimes I see a shadow where there shouldn't be one. I tell myself it's just the city, just nerves. But I always check, just in case. I guess that's just how it is. The city never really sleeps, but sometimes it's better not to know what's out there after dark.
The clock on my dashboard glowed 2:32 in the morning. I'd just left my mom's place, the air outside thick with that humid, late summer heaviness. The city felt deserted, just the way I liked it most nights. I merged onto the main state route, Route 17. There were no headlights behind me, just the sodium glow of traffic lights blinking yellow over empty intersections. A few blocks later, a black Chevy pulled up behind me. At first, I barely noticed. Just another late shift worker, maybe. But it was close. Closer than I liked. Their headlights pressed into my mirrors, a harsh, white glare that made it hard to see. I tried to shrug it off. People tailgate all the time around here. At the next intersection, the road widened. I expected them to pass, and when they slid into the next lane, I let out a breath. Maybe they'd finally go around. But when the light changed, they didn't pass. Instead, the Chevy kept pace with me, crawling forward, side by side. I could feel them watching. My stomach knotted. I tried not to look, but curiosity won. Glancing right, I saw 4 guys, young, maybe college age, all of them staring straight at me. The light turned green. I pressed the gas, hoping to leave them behind, but the Chevy surged forward, matching my speed exactly. I kept my eyes ahead, but out of the corner of my eye, I saw the passenger roll his window down. He started shouting, words I couldn't make out, and waving something in his hand. My heart hammered. I floored it. The engine whined, but the Chevy stuck with me, their headlights burning in my mirrors. No one else was out. No witnesses. I fumbled for my phone, hands shaking. I dialed 911, trying to keep my voice steady. The dispatcher's voice crackled in my ear, calm and distant.
I'm going to transfer you to the next department. Stay on the line, okay?
I was transferred again. 3 departments, 3 different voices, each one sounding further away. Meanwhile, the Chevy kept after me, never dropping back for long. They switched tactics, pulling in behind me, then dropping back, only to surge forward again. It felt like a game, one I didn't want to play. Finally, a red light. I slowed, and so did they. My mind raced. Should I run it? But I waited, knuckles white on the wheel. The Chevy idled behind me, engine rumbling. Green. I shot forward, making a snap decision to turn off the route. The Chevy paused, caught by the light. For a second, I thought I'd lost them. I made a hard right into a dark neighborhood, headlights off for a moment, heart pounding in my throat. I took turns at random, trying to lose them in the maze of quiet streets. I found a spot between 2 parked cars, killed the engine, and ducked down, seat reclined as far as it would go. I waited, barely breathing. Every sound outside made me flinch. A distant dog bark, a car door slamming somewhere far off. I kept my phone pressed to my ear, whispering to the dispatcher that I was hiding. Eventually, 2 patrol cars rolled up, blue lights swirling silently. I let myself breathe for the first time in what felt like hours. I stepped out, legs numb, and gave the officers my statement. I described the Chevy, the 4 guys, the way they'd followed me. The officers listened, faces unreadable.
We'll follow you as far as the city limits, just in case.
I got back in my car, the officers behind me. The drive home felt longer than ever. Every shadow on the sidewalk looked wrong. At the city line, the police turned off. I watched their taillights fade, suddenly alone again. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. The rest of the drive, I kept looking over my shoulder. Every car in the distance felt like it could be them, waiting for a chance. I pulled into my driveway, engine off, and sat in the dark for a long minute. My house looked exactly the same as always, but it felt different, like something was watching. Inside, I locked every door and window twice. I peered through the blinds, searching for headlights, for movement, for anything out of place. Later, I heard 2 out of the 3 departments had put out a bolo for the Chevy. I didn't know if it would help. I didn't know if they'd ever find them. That night, I lay awake, listening for the sound of tires on gravel. My phone stayed on the pillow beside me, screen glowing with every notification. I kept waiting for the headlights to find me again. Sometimes I wonder if they were just messing around, or if it would have ended differently if I hadn't trusted my gut. I still drive that same route, but never alone, and never that late. Even now, when the streets are empty, I catch myself checking the mirrors, waiting for that black Chevy to pull up behind me again.
We'd just finished moving into the new place. My brother and I, sweating and tired, dragging boxes up narrow stairs. The air still smelled like paint and cardboard. That first morning I stepped outside to the patio for a smoke, trying to clear my head. My brother Kareem came out right after me. He was still in his old college hoodie, yawning, talking about the game last night. We were both tired, but it felt good. Like a new start, you know? He stopped mid-sentence, staring at the wooden frame above us. His finger came up. Slow. There, in thick black marker, was my name, Malik. The letters were big, rough, like someone had rushed it.
Malik, did you do that last night?
I shook my head. No. I hadn't even brought a marker out here. We moved everything ourselves. No friends, no family, nobody else. We stood there for a long minute, just staring at it. The marker was fresh, no smudges. I ran my finger over the letters, still tacky. It hadn't been there the night before.
Maybe it's just some kid messing around. Or, I don't know, man.
We never figured it out. After a while, we just stopped talking about it, painted over the name, tried to settle in. 2 months went by. The place started to feel like home, mostly. I got used to the creaks, the weird plumbing, the way the streetlight outside flickered all night. One Friday night, I went down to the bar with my friend Jalen. Kareem stayed home. Nothing wild, just a couple drinks, some wings, talking about work and music. I left the bar around 1 in the morning, grabbed some takeout, walked the few blocks back, The street was quiet, just the buzz of the streetlight and my own footsteps. When I got home, the place was dark. Kareem's door was closed, lights off. I ate at the kitchen table, scrolling through my phone, not really paying attention to anything. After eating, I called my dog, Zuri, my German shepherd, and we went upstairs. I closed my bedroom door, changed into sweats, and crashed hard. Zuri curled up by my feet, like always. Next morning, I woke up to sunlight in my face. My bedroom door was wide open. Zuri was gone. That never happened. She always stayed with me until I got up. I got dressed and headed downstairs, still groggy. Kareem was already in the kitchen. He looked up at me, eyes a little too wide.
Did you bring someone home last night?
I just stared at him. No, man, I didn't. I was with Jalen, remember? Didn't talk to anybody else.
Are you sure? Nobody at all?
I swore up and down. No one came back with me. Why? What's up?
Around 3 in the morning, I heard banging downstairs. Loud. I thought you were putting that IKEA desk together, so I got up to tell you off. I hit the light at the top of the stairs, and there was a girl. She was standing at the bottom, picking up your desk box, calm as anything.
He told me she was young, maybe my age, maybe a little younger. Long hair, dark hoodie, jeans. She leaned the box against the wall, then looked straight up at him. No fear, no surprise.
Zuri was right next to her, just standing there, not barking, not growling, like she knew her. She looked at me for a long time, didn't say a word, then turned and walked into the living room. Didn't even look at the front door. I turned the light off and went back to bed. Figured I'd ask you about her in the morning, but I couldn't sleep after that.
My stomach dropped. My bedroom door had been open. Zuri wasn't with me. Whoever that girl was, she'd been in my room. I could feel it. We searched the whole place, every closet, under every bed, even the crawl space. Nothing. The front door was still locked, no windows open. No sign anyone had been there. Zuri came trotting out from the laundry room, wagging her tail, acting like nothing was wrong. I knelt down and checked her over. She was fine. Not a scratch. We checked the locks, the windows, the back gate. Everything was just as we'd left it. No footprints, no fingerprints. It was like she'd never been there at all. But I know what Kareem saw. I know what I felt. And every morning since, I check that patio frame. Just in case. The paint's holding, but sometimes I swear I see my name bleeding through. Sometimes, when the house settles at night, I wonder if she's still here, or if she ever really left at all.